Hey, what's up everybody? I'm here to do a video on these VHS-C tapes, and this is being filmed on my Kodak EasyShare C533. You can see right there. So, yeah, it's being filmed on it. I don't think you can see the side of it or anything, but you get the idea. But anyway, I'm here to talk about the VHS-Cs that James Wolfe of Cinemassacre.com, you know, the angry video game nerd, briefly talked about a week ago or so when he was talking about different kinds of video formats, and I think he's still doing that right now with his friend Mike, talking about the 16 millimeter films that they have. But the VHS-C tapes are still being, believe it or not, are still being sold today. To answer the question he asked if they were still being sold, yes, James, they are still being sold today. You can go to a Save Mart, a Walmart, Target, they're still being sold. And as well as these are the VHS-C adapters, and I'll get into that in a second. But yes, these are still being sold because these cameras here are still being sold in some ways. I've had this for about 6 to 7, I think almost 8 years now. I can't really remember, but I think it's been about 8 years almost. I bought this at Walmart. It is a Quasar high definition zoom 150 times digital 20 times camera. It's a palm quarter, as they would call it. But yeah, that's what it says, high definition zoom. Well, the high definition is 150 times digital, and the zoom is 20 times, and it's a palm quarter, and it is a VHS-C. And like I said, I've had this for about 7 to 8 years now, so as you can see right there, it says it on the side as well. The only thing that happened with this is the original battery pack. I don't know if I think I may have lost it or it might have died on me. I can't really remember. But the original battery pack died on me, so I had to go out and buy myself a Kodak battery one, which is sort of like a universal battery. Put it on the back here, and I've had that battery, that Kodak battery, for about 6 years now, 6-something years, and it's worked out very, very well. The only disadvantage about it, though, is in time the batteries start to weaken. I mean, when you first start using it, you can usually get about maybe 10, maybe 15, maybe 10 uses out of it before it starts to go to the first, before it starts to die out, before it starts to show that it needs to be charged. You know how the bar starts to kind of fade down and fade down and fade down. Basically doing that. But now it seems you can only get like maybe 5, maybe 6 out of this, and before the bar starts to really get, down to the point that on your 5th or 6th one it's completely empty and you have to recharge it. But still, it works out very well. I've come to basically I figured out one thing. As long as you don't use the battery as much or use the camera as much as you should, and you just recharge it every now and then, it'll work. So let's say like tomorrow is my grandma's birthday, and I probably plan to take this to go film the celebration. And basically, what I plan to do is take my charger and everything. So like right after I do one thing, I just may have to charge it or something like that. So, but you get the idea. Some of you have probably been through this before as well. But it's got a lot of good features. It's got a backlight, which means you can, basically the backlight, and you probably know this by now. Some of you do. Basically allows you to brighten up like a background like this here. Like this background here would be brightened up. A fade basically allows you to fade in and fade out. The EIS is sort of like an ultra zoom. It basically really zooms in. It kind of increases the zoom as well as de-zoom. So these two buttons increase the zoom by, I guess, up to the 150 times that it talks about. So, and it's got all your basic controls. It's got your manual focus here, like your far, your up, that. It's got your VCR buttons right here in case you want to rewind and everything. So yeah, and it even says it down there, VCR off and all that. So, and it comes with a charger, as well as it comes with, the audio-video cables I showed you in the previous one, the white and the yellow. But getting back to this, getting back to the adapter, and speaking of the cables, now this comes with the white and yellow audio-video cables. But let's say, like I mentioned in a previous video, which you could find here on my channel, let's say when you do this, and let's say you have a DVD recorder or a Blu-ray recorder, but let's say you want to transfer your VHS-Cs to DVD through that. Or let's even say if you have like the Dazzler or something like that, and you want to transfer these to DVD. The only problem is when you use, as I mentioned in that previous video, when you use when you only use white and yellow audio-video cables, you're only going to get like the left sound coming out of there. So what you'd want to do is get yourself a VHS-C adapter, which I believe these are still being sold as well. These are still sold as well. And what you want to do, and this even goes for like the 8mm cameras, what you want to do is you want to buy one of these, and it could be either the kind that you do manually, like this, or you got to pull it out like that, or push it out. I can't do both because I got a camera on me. Got a camera with me, but you get the idea. Kind of push, and then kind of bring it out. Then what you want to do, okay, making sure. Then what you want to do, there we go. You want to make sure it's all the way out. Then what you want to do is take your VHS-C or your 8mm, put it into your adapter like this. It's a little complicated sometimes, especially if it's not like the automatic. But there we go. You want to put it in like that. Then what you do, believe it or not, this is what happens. I don't know if you can see that well. But let's see if we can get a little bit more light around here. Here we go. But basically, as you can see, the tape's right there, right? Now, what happens is the tape will, believe it or not, increase. So what happens once you get your tape in there, you push this back up, and that basically increases the tape. See, now you can see that the tape's in there, and when you lift this, you can see that the tape is right there as well. So, and this, believe it or not, will help you get the stereo, the all-out stereo proportion of your VHS, of your VHS-C or your 8mm tape. It'll allow you to get the fullness, because then what you would do is you would take the red, the yellow, or the yellow, the white, and the red, all three audio-video cables, connect them to your VCR, connect them to your Dazzler or your Blu-ray or your DVD recorder, your Blu-ray recorder, I should say, and your DVD recorder or your Dazzler. You get the idea. And you should be able to record this and transfer it in full stereo sound. So that way, like let's say you have something like in a home theater system, like I have in my room. This would allow you to get the whole surround sound. You get what I'm saying? Allow you to get the whole stereo sound without having to worry about just one area, coming out, or one area having the sound come out of it. Area like the left side, like let's say you have a speaker like right there. Let's say if you have a speaker right there, you won't have to worry about the sound just coming out of there, because if you have a speaker there, and let's say you have a speaker right there and right there, while I'm pointing, these two little corners, you have two back speakers, and you have two front speakers there, and there. You get what I'm saying, right? Like a left one there, a middle one, a right one, and then over here, right there, and right there. let's say you have those speakers there, then you won't have to worry about the sound, again, like I'm saying, coming out of just one speaker. It'll come out of all of them. So, but yeah, basically this is what would help you do that. All you'd have to do is pop this in your VCR, hook up the yellow, white, and red audio video cables, hook them to your Blu-ray recorder, your DVD recorder, or to your Dazzler, and away you go. And as well as it'll allow you to transfer them. If you want to like put them on YouTube, you won't have to worry about the YouTube video being viewed by people and all of them hearing and them just hearing the sound coming out of one speaker. They'll be able to hear it coming out of both speakers. So, but yeah, that's the VHS-Cs and the VHS-C adapters as well as the camera. I hope you enjoyed this. You got any comments? Let me know.